Biloxi, Mississippi, and I think that's the way to go here. Only if, I'm looking at the right weather for those that get the right weather, the high cluster, all the model derivatives such as the GFDI, the AVNI, CONUS, which is the consensus, so on and so forth. Only one or two of the models now have it, and one of them is NHC 98, has it as, and the other one's BAM Deep, has it reaching 90 degrees longitude. And there's one other BAM Shallow, which has it swinging out to 92, which is useless in an intense hurricane like this. So I'll go to all series and important models, only one or two of them now having reaching as far west as 90, and I think that's an important point here. So, I have no problem getting people out of evacuate out of New Orleans. I'm not complaining about that. I just think that there's more emphasis on New Orleans, and there should be. It's a major event, but I don't want to take the coverage away. I just think there has to be more emphasis on Mississippi right now.
Well, that's right, Dave. That's a very good point. There is a lot of focus on the major metropolitan area in New Orleans, and I think that that's not it's not justified because, of course, there is a lot of vulnerability down there for obvious reasons, even mentally. There's some vulnerability. I mean, we had Max Mayfield called the governor of Louisiana last night and voiced his concerns. The President of the United States is speaking right now on national TV regarding Katrina. So there's reason to be concerned. Yes, there's still going to, there's always reason that it's going to be a hurricane there, period, and we know that. But you're absolutely right about the fact that I think that it looks like it is going to probably be a little bit east. The models seem to show that for the most part, and really the repercussions for New Orleans. I mean, yeah, you could make that case. It's going to dodge the bullets if it doesn't get 175-mile-an-hour winds in that particular metropolitan area there, but they're still going to get blasted. And yeah, those people in along the Alabama, the GFDL I think has done a pretty good job with this storm, and it has it coming in just almost. In Mississippi, just near the Alabama border there, I believe, is what I was seeing. I couldn't agree with your concern there more. It's not so much just the New Orleans area, but it's everybody in the North Gulf Coast. This is a monster hurricane, and, give or take 30 miles of where it comes in is going to be somewhat irrelevant. Yes, the storm surge will be that much more dramatic in that area, I think, up there, but they're going to have an incredible storm surge as well. I mean, they're talking 18 to 22 foot in the last discussion that came out, or advisory, and then we've got possible 28 foot, and then you throw on waves on top of that, and heck, in some cases we've already got still beaches that have been eroded from last year. To the east more and the right quad that's already abused. This is definitely going to be changing the face of the Gulf Coast up there forever, most likely. I imagine they might even change some of the maps up there because this is a pretty serious situation, Dave. Can I ask why you're thinking it's going to weaken? What at this point, where the confidence comes from that, the weakening phase, or is that feeling? I shouldn't say that to you. I'm sorry about that. What are your thoughts on the weakening? Or at this point, I mean, it's 175 miles an hour. We had a nautical mile wide eye of 25 miles last I saw with Recon, at least a little while ago. So I would think that it's probably, if it's going to go concentric, it would tighten up even more here yet. If it's going to do an eye wall replacement. What are your thoughts on the weakening aspect of it? Are you seeing some shear come into the system maybe? I really would like to hear that as positive news today, because there hasn't been a whole lot of it.
Well, my main view is that as it moves closer to the coast, since it's such a large system now, the huge circulation, it's going to start sucking in some drier air, which I think was going to cause it to undergo a slight weakening phase. I mean, 925 is nothing to, leap for joy over. I could be wrong, and one of the reasons I could be wrong was, one, because God's against me, but also, it is picked up speed here. And as it's picking up speed, there's less chance for it to suck in the dry air and work its way in. So I think there'll be a very slight weakening trend as micro down to 160. I mean, that's not anything to change about. I did want to point out, I don't know if anybody saw the New Orleans Weather Service statement they issued here.
No, we haven't announced that yet. If you've got that, that'd be wonderful. Go ahead and pass something on from there. I'm sure that, that's what we should, the people in that area should certainly be reading, is that hurricane local statement, very important local information. Go ahead, Dave. Yeah, it says here the 10:11 a.m. statement from urgent, weather message from the National Weather Service. The headline is devastating damage expected. This is from the New Orleans office. A most powerful hurricane with unprecedented strength rivaling the intensity of Hurricane Camille in 1969. And most of the area will be uninhabitable for weeks, perhaps longer. At least half of the well-constructed homes will have roof and wall failure. All gabled roofs will fail, leaving those homes severely damaged or destroyed. The majority of industrial buildings in New Orleans will be non-functional. Partial to complete wall and roof failure is expected. All wood-frame low-rise and apartment buildings will be destroyed. Concrete block low-rise apartments will sustain major damage, including some roof and wall failure. High-rise office and apartment buildings will sway dangerously, a few to the point of total collapse. All windows will blow out. That's an impressive statement. Wow, Dave, thanks for passing that on. You got that right. That's an impressive statement because we've heard that there's 100,000 people that haven't evacuated down there. And, we had Nelson Air Force Med. He's one of the other people that contributes to the station. He happens to have a niece that was in a serious car accident, boating accident, and she was in a coma, and she's still just coming out of it, and the hospital staff will not release them to be able to evacuate. And this is in St. Charles Parish, which is, I believe, on the west side of Lake Pontchartrain, and very close to the river as well. And they can't leave, and the family's not leaving them as well. So he's got half his family sitting down there as an example. They're in the hospital. Yeah, they're on the 6th floor of the hospital, so the flooding may not be the issue. But then again, like you said, there's going to be catastrophic damage in that kind of information. Well, we kind of knew that. That's to be expected. That's right. This is what a Category 5 catastrophic hurricane does. It knocks block walls down. It knocks buildings down. This area has not experienced, you state, Florida has, where building codes have been upgraded and new buildings had to be rebuilt because everything was wiped clean. The fact is this up here hasn't been wiped clean with new building codes in quite some time, so you're going to see an exceptional amount of building damage up there. And with the flooding, with the Lake Pontchartrain and the fact that they have to pump the water out once it breaches in there, there's going to be major job losses. And I'm sure we talked about the oil platforms. You mentioned that. That's incredible. I guess, gas prices are going to go up $1 or $2 almost automatically. I don't know if you want to comment on that issue, but I know you do forecasting related to that kind of stuff. But there's going to be a major impact. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Also had a reference that 30% of the nation's oil comes out of the New Orleans port area, so for obvious reasons. And very serious situation there, and I appreciate you passing that on, Dave. That's incredible reality of what a Cat 5 will do. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And we definitely see a very strong hurricane here. Mike Naso, are you back in the office up there? Or what am I talking about? He can't be there. The president is speaking right now. I would be shocked if he's going to hit that button right now. I'm going to let up for just a second.
I'm here.
Whoa! You must be recording or something. Did you just hear the statement that DT mentioned about what's going on in New Orleans? And I know you're concerned about it, Mike. You've got some people down there that you've been in contact with that have not evacuated. And, once again, it's not all about New Orleans. DT's has a pretty good feeling that this is going to be coming in to the right of that just a little bit. But nonetheless, the impact, of course, will be pretty heavy on New Orleans. Not quite what it's going to be exactly where it does impact into the right, of course, where the right front quad is going to be. But, did you hear what he mentioned there just a little bit ago? Do you have any comments?
It was unbelievable, but believable in the same respect that, this is what we're going to see with a Category 5 hurricane coming in. I don't think it's going to weaken below Category. I think it could weaken a little bit, very well, at least I hope. Maybe some air core more fluctuations, and like you said, maybe a mix